He will give you everything you need to make it happen. He will fight your battles. He will pay your bills. He will feed you when you're hungry. He will give you friends when you lose friends because of your purpose. He will be there in the midnight hour. He will give you peace. He will give you power. He will give you protection. He will take care of you. He will guard your back. He will take care. Have I got a witness in here that the Lord will make a way somehow?
Yo, que lo que? My peoples, what's up? We back, baby. It's your boys, Silverback Chronicles podcast. It's your boy Big H. I got my brother Dre.
Activo. 10 toes down.
All day. What's good, bro?
That's it, man. What's good with you?
I'm living.
I like it.
Enjoying.
I like it. Tell me more.
Feet kicked up.
Yeah. What else?
No socks.
Uh-huh.
Chancletas.
The breeze hitting them toes.
Toes dangling.
I like it. You gotta stretch them out.
Brown water in one hand.
That's called relaxing.
Brown water in one hand.
Uh-huh.
Cigar in the other.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
With a banana hammock.
Ooh, what? What's a banana hammock?
With some suntan lotion.
What's a banana hammock? What do you mean by that?
You know what I'm saying?
I think MC Hammer's
That's
on
all I got. The sun glazing off of me, you heard?
Shout out to Raul.
Something light.
Shout out to all them Yonkers firefighters.
Word. Every fighter in every jurisdiction.
Word.
We
Something
appreciate
live.
you. Triple C.
Yo.
What's good, baby?
Maintaining and chilling, bro.
All day, every day. Folks, we back. It's episode 84. 84. You heard? We cooking. You making noise, baby. Yeah.
Something special.
It's all good, though.
Yeah, the mics is sensitive, so
It's real sensitive.
or them bangles, you know.
Folks, my
It's okay.
peoples. It's
You
all
good.
good. You good, baby. Small thing. Listen, we got a special guest tonight. We're gonna let you know what it is real quick, but first and foremost, let's get into our sponsors real quick. Alright, you already know what it is. Berman and Darby. BermanDarby.com. Shout out to my brother Charlie Schultz. He can be reached at 410-769-5400. 410-769-5400. Berman and Darby, #1 law firm in the state of Maryland. If you get hurt at work or if you get hurt with a personal injury, that's the go-to. That's the plug. All right? Make sure you go there. You give my boy Charlie a call, and he will return it and take care of you. Say less.
He might even text you. That's how he is.
He might take you out for brunch.
I mean, yeah.
All on him. Just to get to know you a little better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that FaceTime. Real
Word.
FaceTime.
Because it's not always about money. It's about building a relationship.
Making sure you're taken care of.
Right. And listen, the world, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for keep tuning in every year. Every week.
Every week of the year.
Every week of the year.
Shout out to
365.
Starbucks.
Shout out to Starbucks all day, every day. We appreciate you guys, man.
Shout out to Bonhouse.
Barnhouse. Don't forget the discount code for Starbucks. All caps, Silverback Podcast. All caps, Silverback Podcast. Get you 20% off.
Shout out to Midway.
Who's
Lakers.
Who's taking care of you like us?
Come on, man.
Come on.
What you need? You need clothes? Shout out to Silverbackchronicles.com.
Tell
Grab
him, Dre.
something sexy.
Tell him, Dre.
So you're in the supermarket, ain't nobody asking you nothing stupid. Hey, sir, some guy cut me off the other day. Can I borrow your gun? Nah, none of that. I'm here, I'm shopping. I'm trying to get some broccoli. Trying to get some Brussels sprouts.
You know what I'm saying?
So I can make some healthy dinner.
Word.
Anyway, I'm done.
But we got a phenomenal boutique for you. Polos, t-shirts. But you already know how we operate. But let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a CEO in the building tonight.
A CEO.
She's amazing at what she does. Her company name is JOTF. That stands for Job Opportunities Task Force.
Hey, yo, can I say something?
Please do.
I've met a lot of CEOs in my life.
Okay.
I never seen one that looks like this before, though.
Chocolate.
That's chocolates. That's chocolates.
Chocolates.
This is the chocolate that they leave in the like at the Four Seasons on top of your pillow.
Right.
It just makes you happy.
It makes you happy.
Like, oh wow, like you guys didn't have to, but I'll take it.
Chocolate.
Thank you.
Chocolate. She's the CEO of JOTF. And her name is Caryn, and that's with a C and a Y.
Right. Don't get it confused.
Don't
with
get
that
it messed
nonsense
up.
on the internet.
So with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Caryn is in the building.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
for
It's
being
a
here.
pleasure and an honor to have you with us.
Absolutely.
Tonight. Means everything.
Indeed, as
I
well.
hope I didn't offend you with that.
No, I mean,
It came from the bottom of my heart.
Absolutely.
I believe it. I feel it. I felt it.
And the melanin is going all through you, baby.
Yeah, you
Yes,
glowing
man.
in here, yo.
I'm not usually rendered speechless, but I was.
You shining.
It's all about the vibe that we produce. You know what
I
I'm
didn't
saying?
get a high out, but
That's what I'm talking about.
thank you.
So how are you, ma'am?
Great.
Lovely.
After that, like amazing, like
Listen,
complimentary introduction. I'm great. You all have been taking care of me thus
I mean, it's the
far.
truth.
Listen, it's
Is this how Silverback Chronicles get down?
Yes,
This how you all
ma'am.
get down?
Red carpet treatment all day.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Absolutely.
I would even venture to say that it might be purple.
Ooh. And you know purple stands for royalty, baby.
That's what I
That's
had meant.
it.
That's what I had mented
Okay.
when I had said it. The
Ah.
lingus.
Oh no, we picked it up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Royalty.
where are you from? Born and raised?
Born and raised, Baltimore City. City forever.
Wow.
City
Daggone
forever.
Poly represent.
You from Poly?
City forever. What happened? What happened at Poly though?
Oh.
What happened at Poly?
Oh.
What happened to Polly?
What happened? Yeah, what happened at Poly?
Yeah, what happened at Poly?
I don't know.
Triple
It's
C?
the only
Put me
engineering
on,
high
cause
school,
I'm not from there. So.
Right.
I mean.
It's the only engineering high school in the state of Maryland.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you a east side or a west side?
West side.
Ooh, okay.
West side.
I like that.
All day.
Wow.
All day. All
And
day.
you with the Poly?
No. I'm sorry. Let's back that up.
So he was showing off.
Correct.
Okay.
He was showing.
Oh, he was showing off.
He was showing off.
Okay. Can you correct him, please?
I sure will.
Please do.
Please do.
So while I love
Yes.
and celebrate
Yes.
West Baltimore,
Yes, ma'am.
I am a proud graduate of the Baltimore City College High School.
Ooh.
Okay.
City forever.
City forever.
Now, even
City
though
forever.
I may have gotten put out of Institute of Notre Dame.
You were asked to leave.
Okay.
That's their fault.
Thank you.
I would never kick you out of anywhere.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even
just saying.
understand.
They
right?
didn't take full advantage of your potential.
I mean, it was like the beginning of my revolutionary route.
Right.
They
You
didn't
was
even
still-
know what was going on.
Right.
Exactly.
Doing cartwheels.
Sorry for them. They lost.
It's all right.
I know.
They blew a phenomenal opportunity.
But City attained me
Yes. Okay.
Everything
and
was
claimed me.
I like that.
And then what happened there?
Right.
I mean, the rest is history. I'm gonna tell y'all about it.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, that's what I'm talking
Tell
about.
y'all
I
about
like
it.
it.
Tell y'all about it.
So JOTF,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am. I know what it stands for.
Yeah.
Job Opportunities Task Force. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, what made you come up with this?
So actually, I didn't come up with it. So
okay.
I'm not the founder.
Okay.
I started at the organization in 2011 doing policy work. So I was hired to do a lot of work in Annapolis trying to change laws. that would eliminate barriers for low-income workers to access high-wage jobs. And so around this time, there was also a lot of national momentum around this thing called reentry. There were a lot of folks that were coming home and they were unable to secure employment because of their criminal record. They were coming home from incarceration.
Okay.
And they were unable to secure employment because of their criminal background. Now in Maryland, this was particularly an issue because Maryland has something that other states doesn't have. Maryland has this online database called the Maryland Online Judiciary Case Search. Okay, this is an online database where all you have to do is have internet access, and you can access anyone's criminal record all the way back to the 70s. Now, I'm not saying that this should be abolished. Okay, this is a useful tool. I mean, I use it in dating.
Okay. I know that's right.
However, there are instances where it can be used against individuals. And many times when those individuals are trying to move forward, their very record is being used against them and prevents them from being able to secure employment and housing and all of these things. And so I felt that it was incumbent upon me. I'm in a workforce space, right? We're trying to figure out how do we get folks jobs. But in Baltimore City, there was a significant segment of the working population that was effectively unemployable because they had a criminal record. Employers just weren't willing to hire them because they had a record. And so I felt that it was incumbent upon me. I saw it in my family. I saw it with friends, even in my own neighborhoods, right? I can't help you get a job if employers aren't going to be willing to hire you with this record. If you haven't been able to obtain skills while you were behind the fence and now you expecting to be paid, $20 an hour and you haven't gained any skills and you barely have a high school diploma, right? So like, what does that look like? Because now you got to pay child support. Okay, you got some other things and bills and things you got to do, and you don't have no dollars and cents coming in.
Right.
And so for an organization like the Job Opportunities Task Force, how can you do this work in a city like Baltimore City and not figure out how to address this large population of unemployable individuals that are unemployable as a result of their criminal record? And so I actually became CEO because I threw myself into ways in which we can pass laws that help folks get records. So this is like, ban the box laws, record expungement laws for certain low-level, nonviolent offenses, how to help folks get housing, all of these things. I did all of that for years as a policy associate and then director of policy. And then I got promoted to CEO.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
The youth needs that.
Absolutely.
Youth, adults.
Grown
Right.
men, yeah.
Right? You got 30, 40, 50-year-old folks out here that they in the same situation.
But the
as
youth is the main problem because they are reckless.
You got some 30, 40, 50-year-olds out here that's reckless too. I mean, it's...
Facts.
I hear what you're saying, right? We're seeing more and more and more youth that are just unemployed, not in school, and the one system that they are interacting with, or the two systems they are interacting with, is the juvenile justice system or the adult criminal justice system. That's real. But you also got their daddies, their uncles, their brothers that's in the same bucket as them.
Absolutely.
So it's like, we can't focus just on little Jimmy, little Tyrone, and Unc is just as messed up.
Absolutely.
Right.
Unc might be convincing little Tyrone to help him.
It's easy to show him when he has something to offer and bring to the table.
Yeah.
So, have you seen a big difference in employment with this system that you guys have set up?
Yeah, I mean...
What's the process like? Like paint the picture for me. Say individual did about 10 years and he's coming home.
He just came home.
He reaches out to you, or you have a system to where you can reach out to the ones that just got home?
So both. So usually it's the former, right? They're reaching out to us. Usually as soon as they come home there, PO is like, you got to get a job. So when they go to the internet, you put in something like job, the first thing that's going to come up, if you put job in Baltimore, usually the first thing that's going to come up is the Job Opportunities Task Force, right? Just name alone, right? So this is where the hard conversations have to occur.
Right.
Because real talk, if you coming home after doing a 10, 15, 20-year bid, there are some things that we're going to have to put in place that will make you employable.
Absolutely.
Because you're not employable yet.
Absolutely.
You are not employable yet, unfortunately. If you were not able to participate in some type of educational or vocational program behind the fence where you are coming home with a credential that can then be used to help you, you unemployable. In addition to you still experiencing a level of institutionalization
Absolutely.
that's going to require a bunch of peeling back.
Right.
And so that's going to require you to learn how to, yes, deal with authority, but also, you know, show up on time and alarm clock and cell phone and computers. I mean, like all of these different
Resumes.
things, right?
And conduct yourself in basic conversation.
How to wear a tie. How to
All
wear
of
a
these
suit.
different things where it's like before you ready to be paid $30 an hour, what you expecting to be paid,
Right.
you're not there yet.
No.
And that's a very
Baby
hard,
steps.
right, that's a very hard discussion to have with somebody, especially a grown man, a grown woman who've been locked up for 10 plus years, and they like, I'm trying to get my kids back, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do this, I got something to prove.
Right.
I'm ready to work, I'm hungry. And you see it, but you're just not ready yet.
Right.
Painting that picture is a bit difficult for them. Because I know they want to jump in the driver's seat and just have at it.
Yeah, it's a harsh reality because, you know, they spend so much time beyond the wall. They're trying to come back and catch up. But it's like you said, baby steps.
Yeah, and then that frustration, like if you are not someone who is knowledgeable about coping mechanisms, you get frustrated because you can't get that money fast, right?
Absolutely.
Bills are piling up, you know, you got to report to your PO, all of these things are happening. So what you going to do? You're going to go back to what you know.
Patience
Right.
and everything.
And that's when we get this thing called recidivism.
Yeah.
Folks going back in
Because they go back to what they used to do.
because they go back to what they used to do.
So you guys help them. Do you provide avenues for them to speak to specialists, mental? Because I know a lot of them should speak with somebody that's on call or weekly, on top of their living situation.
Yeah, so we have a couple tracks because I think, folks need to recognize when we're dealing with this population,
Right.
it's levels to this.
Absolutely.
It's not a monolith. Everybody who's coming home and going in, they're not the same. They're not the same.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple different tracks. So we have two particular programs that deal with this specific population. So one is the Community Bail Fund for Baltimore City. So what we're doing is those individuals at central bookings on low-level nonviolent offenses. We talking about individuals in there for like $100 bail for rogue and vagabond charges. Okay,
Right.
Instead of being in there, let's figure out what track we need to put you on. So we bail you out, and this could be $100 all the way up to $50,000, $100,000.
Oh, nice.
Right? Because you get big bails many times for these. You
Absolutely.
could get a $100,000 bail for a VOP, and the original charge was second-degree assault. Right.
Facts.
So we bail them out, but that's not all we do. I need you to show up for court so I can get that bail money back.
I was getting ready to say that.
Right.
I need you to show up for court. So we on you, okay? But not only are we on you just for you, so you can show up for court, but like, what do you need? You want to go back to school? You need a job? I mean, what is it? Mental
Are
health?
you very selective?
Kinda.
Because it can't just be anybody.
No.
So I'm curious, what's the interview process on speaking with that individual to know, all right, I'm going to give him a shot?
So it's not an interview process. It's more, it starts off with if you are represented by Office of the Public Defender, right? So you already have that type of representation in place.
It's a public defender?
Okay. So if you are, if
It's
you're...
it's not Reverend Leon Love, right?
Bruh.
Gina!
Bruh. You see how I'm scratching my eye like this?
Right.
You see how I'm scratching my eye like this?
That's all I scratch.
My God.
You're so stupid.
I tell you. They'd be like, sis, because I can't.
Right. Chip, fall back there. Right.
So the Office of the Public Defender.
Okay.
So they identify individuals who initially first list is like nonviolent offenders. They in there for like low level offenses, and they don't got $100 and they don't know anybody who have $100 or $200 to bail them out.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what we do is we pretty much like, do you want to be bailed out? Usually they're like, hell yeah.
Right.
Okay. So then we start getting in touch with your family members. We start looking on your social media, like doing all types of assessments to just getting an idea, a picture.
What kind of individual is this
what we
guy?
gonna be dealing with.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay. What we gonna be dealing with.
Right.
once we bail you out, there's we practically spend the night at central bookings, because the way it works is like they don't know when they're going to be released. We don't know when you're going to be released, but we know we got to make contact with you as soon as you release, so you can see how serious we are about, we need you to show up for court. Like, you got to show up for court.
I know y'all busy because this is Baltimore City.
I hate saying this, but we almost like a nonprofit bail bondsman.
You are.
Because it's like a nonprofit like bounty hunter.
Wow.
Where it's like we on you.
You got to be, though.
Got to be on you. And I mean, in terms of failure to appear, like, we started this bail fund in May 2020 in the middle of a pandemic. We bailed out 30 individuals. Only 2 individuals have failed to appear.
Really?
Wow.
That's phenomenal.
That's dope.
That's phenomenal.
And so making sure they appear for court, getting the bail money back, and then helping them, like, you want to go to school, you want to get a job, all of those things. So those are the folks that's just like, they end bookings, they coming home, right?
Okay.
Many times they not even ready for a job. And we just trying to figure out what are the things you need to do, because, you know, like, the jail is almost like a homeless shelter, mental asylum. Like, that's what we got at the booking facilities there. The second track is for those that they like, these are the older folks. They done 10, 15 years. They home, they serious, but they just need some steps. Like, help me use a computer,
Some
help
guidance.
me do this. I need some guidance, right? But I'm serious, right? We don't got to worry about all of that extra stuff. Just put me on track,
Right.
and I'm good. These are the folks where, you know, we put them through our construction training program, Project Jumpstart, partnering with Associated Builders and Contractors. They learn in carpentry, electrical, and plumbing. We doing things like we pay for your driver's education. You get up to $3,000, you know, to go towards a personal vehicle because you got to have a car. We helping you with, you know, your legal issues. Then you're placed either in electrical, carpentry, or plumbing, and then, you know, putting you in a formal apprenticeship so that, you know, you eventually making $20, $40 an hour, you know, within a year or two. And 2-3 years ago, you was just locked up.
That's
so
super dope.
It's thinking about all the different tracks to address all of the different folks that's coming home.
Wow.
That's amazing.
How are you all funded? Is it through?
I was getting ready to ask, because I'm about to ask for a loan. Let me hold something.
I'm trying to be an electrician.
Right, I know you got it.
What you
Get a
trying to
couple
pay?
dollars.
Electrician.
One more time. What you trying to pay? What you trying to pay?
The heavy Latin tongue is getting in the middle of the electrician.
I was like, did he say an electrician or a nutritionist?
Right, one of them.
Did he say?
Electrician.
Right.
Okay.
Mess with wires and stuff.
Okay.
Okay. No, but yeah.
I mean, our funding, it's a mix, right? So,
Right.
you know, we got foundation funding from, you know, private foundations like the Casey's and, you know, those types of Weinbergs and those major foundations.
Oh, wow.
But when it comes to like our bail fund type community type work, honestly, it's like community donations, and you'd be surprised who it comes from. It's like folks who really don't have it, like family members that's just like, no, I get it. But it's also from folks who former officers, right? That are like, that are like, no, we understand how the same folks that we keep seeing,
Right.
if they just had an opportunity over here or was able to do this. Now, this ain't for everybody, okay? Like, some of them, they not ready for the opportunity. They want to do what they do, okay? But for a lot of them, it's like, look, if they just had an opportunity, if they was connected with a JOTF, I wouldn't have to keep seeing them all the time. I wouldn't have to keep dealing with them. So I support what you're doing.
Gotcha.
So it's like a range of community members and folks that end up like donating to our fund, where like we got over, you know, almost 100,000 in our bail fund.
That's super dope. Well, what about the corner boys? The you know, wash your window boys at the lights.
Squeegee boys. Squeegee boys.
Can you guys look out for them too?
Can they just walk in and be like, hey, I need a job?
Right. Is there something
Can you
in
train
place
me?
for them?
Right.
Yeah. So
Because there's a lot of 20-year-olds doing that too.
it's a lot of 20-year-olds doing that.
Word.
It's a lot of 30-year-olds.
And it's cool 20-year-olds because they watch over the young ones and tell them, yo, chill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're kind of in charge of them, and sometimes. It depends where you're at. On the west side, I know there's the head dude, he like runs them. But he's well mannered and talking to them. So I'm just curious, is there something set up in place for them?
Yeah, so I mean, it's tricky when it comes to squeegee boys, because you have some folks who, you know, actually believe that squeegeeing is like okay as an employment opportunity. Right. And it's like, that's a temporary fix for, you know, but that should never be a thing.
Never.
Okay? Because one, I think there's some legal questions there. Like something is against the law in terms of, you know, that practice.
That's another ball game.
Okay, right. Something. So that's a whole thing over there, right? But just in terms of being able to, thinking that that's a primary way of bringing in money.
Right.
That can't be what we do in the city of Baltimore, right? Because you got whole families out there. You got the kid, you got the uncle, you got the dad. All of them out there squeegeeing. Right. You either squeegeeing, selling waters, everybody on the same, like. Absolutely. That is not economic opportunity, with mobility, security,
right. Sweat like a motherfucker, but now you want me to borrow water from you.
I was ready.
I know you wasn't. It was raining one day, right? Hear me out. It was raining, right? Balling down raining.
Okay.
I'm at the stoplight.
Okay.
Squeezy boy pull up to the car.
Okay.
And what happened?
Let me get your window.
I know you look like
I want to be like, I'm looking like, my man, the fucking rain, bro. I don't need your services, baby.
He like, I need some cash though.
But I get it. I still gave him a couple dollars, but I'm like, fam, like.
They got cash app now.
Ain't they that do. A bitch? They sure do.
They got cash app. Right. They tell you real fast. Right? They got the cards with the
yeah, we take cash app, whatever.
They be like, so good, so give me a donation.
But you know what?
QR code and all that.
I respect the hustle. Right. I do. But it's just got to be a better way.
You need a different hustle.
You need different. It's raining, fam. I don't need your services.
Got to keep your car dry in the rain.
Come on.
I don't need soapy water.
But the fact that that's
half the time it's just water. It ain't even soap in the motherfucker.
It's not.
But I get it. Yeah,
it's not.
It's got to be a better way.
It has to be a better way.
Absolutely.
It has to be a better way.
Yeah.
And that's what we are trying to help figure out, help the city figure out, help the state figure out.
Right.
Because, I mean, even something as simple as, I remember a couple years ago, and at the time, this was a couple commissioners ago, and I was in a meeting, and the commissioner comes up to me and he says, we really have to do something. And I was actually shocked that, you know, here was someone in law enforcement that was like, no, we going to do something about this. He's like, we have to do something about the fact that there are too many individuals out on our streets that don't have valid IDs. Can't produce IDs. You don't have like state issued photo IDs. Right. This is something, I mean, think about it. This is something that we take for granted. Right? Like it's not easy. It's not difficult for us to, you know, maintain an ID, right? It's like second nature for us. But for so many folks, like they don't have it for whatever reason. And you're not having ID, not being able to be identified. You all know what that means, right?
A lot of problems.
A lot of problems that are unnecessary.
Absolutely.
And so the commissioner at the time was like, look, you, JOTF, need to figure out how we can pass a law that ensures that everyone, just starting off, whoever is returning from incarceration, that they are issued a state-issued photo ID in the lease. Right. Because on the streets, or even if you're going to apply for a job, who's going to hire you and the only ID you got is a jail ID?
Absolutely. They're going to look at that shit and be like, nah, we good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like.
Or apparently.
What happened? Nothing. It's been filled.
It's just, we're good. Right. We are good.
We're good.
We're good.
Appreciate you for coming through.
It's, I mean, it's that stigma. It's just so there.
Right.
Or even on the streets, and I didn't know this, but, you know, it's like, look, if you can't produce ID, there's a chance you could be detained. Because you can't produce ID.
Yeah, that's correct.
And so, like, how do you prevent that? Ensure that folks have IDs. Something as simple as that.
I think it's Maryland state law that you don't have to carry ID. Didn't that pass that not so long ago?
That you don't have to carry it?
Yeah. People don't walk around with IDs all the time.
No, that's just because they... Yeah. Like she said, no, it's a law.
No, you gotta walk. You're supposed to.
So maybe it's a Baltimore city
It's
ordinance.
it's probably a city ordinance.
It's a city ordinance.
But I don't know.
City ordinance
because-
doesn't trump Maryland law. Yeah,
I
it's just the
know.
fact
but
they just
people-
don't
Is it
have
a law,
No. But people do walk around.
No, because
No, absolutely.
identification.
But is there a law that states that one,
it
you
up
either
real quick.
have to walk around with
Look
it,
it up real
or
quick.
if you don't have your ID, that you could be detained? Or is it like a practice?
well, you can. Here's the thing, and if it depends if it's in reference to whatever you get a call. Say officer gets a call,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He goes out to investigate it.
Right.
The individual in reference to that call, the officer can talk to him in reference to what's going on in that situation.
Right.
If he doesn't have ID, he can detain him to verify his identity.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
A couple years ago, you could be placed under arrest if you didn't have a valid Maryland
Just
state
in general.
identification. In general,
Right.
Okay.
But I think the city passed something to where you can't arrest them solely based off of that.
Okay. So that's just at the city level. That's not
Right.
like.
It's not statewide.
So
Okay.
with that being in place, here's the problem, right? If I'm investigating a shooting and I have an individual that's shot, I don't know who this guy is.
yeah.
How can I notify his family? How do I know where he come from? How do I know anything? He's walking around with no ID because he's doing whatever he does. He's see the problems it presents. So,
But I think that another piece of it is many times when folks go to get their IDs, it's like it's all of these like random fines and fees that pop up where they end
Yeah.
up having to pay like hundreds of dollars,
Yeah.
and they just be like, "Fuck it,
yeah,
Right.
I'm just going."
I can see that too.
I'm just
I
going
can
to
see
ride
that too.
dirty.
But at the end of the day, you're an individual, especially if you're an adult, it behooves you to act accordingly. And I mean, it's ID, it's identification, it's you.
a lot of
Need
people. I would
ID?
say more people have ID that just choose not to carry it.
And a lot of them
Yeah.
have ID, they just want to be assholes and I ain't giving you my information. Fuck you.
Well,
Right.
I mean,
That's
well,
not
But
flex.
me bothering me and shit. You know what I'm saying?
well, and I mean that
bullshit.
might come from folks being just like, why do I have to produce my ID?
Absolutely. And that's on the
Why
case
do I
by
have to
case
produce my
situation.
ID? Yeah.
But I get it. It's it's easy to just have your ID.
I love when I'm like, hey sir, may I please see your ID? They be like, nah. They be like, let me see your ID. I'm like,
Oh, we're gonna play that game.
this whole thing,
Yeah, the uniform,
This
the
thing?
badge, none of that.
none of that
Nah.
identification.
But can I say no? Like if you're like, let me see your
Yes.
ID. Like seriously,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can say
I
that.
can say no.
You can say whatever you want.
And then what happens?
It depends.
Depends on that situation.
It depends on the officer.
So like, okay, so say like, you know,
What am I here talking to you for?
okay, so wait a minute.
If it's,
So,
talk to me.
say it's
Is there a
like,
gun in the car?
well, we don't know yet.
Okay.
Okay, we
Well,
don't.
why don't you give us a
okay.
situation? and
I'm
what-
trying, and you
Paint that
throwing
picture.
guns in it and stuff. I
Right.
mean, I was trying to lay
My
out
fault,
the
that's what I usually do.
You
situation.
have a
Right,
right
okay.
to
I
remain
run to
silent.
that.
Okay, so say, you know, a couple ladies, you know, get a little rowdy, had a couple drinks and everything. There's a little stumbling. Someone, like, you know, you get a call for like something else in the area, right? And like now you're just trying to ask questions, right? Just to see if something happens. And you run across like me and my group of ladies, and you know, we're just whatever. And so you're like, ladies, you know, got a call for blah 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 blah.
I'm just investigating, make sure everything's okay.
Right.
Right.
Let me see your ID. And I'm like, why? Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not showing you my ID. I ain't had nothing to do with all of that.
Right.
Then what?
I'm just gonna be like, well, ma'am, I just want to get a better understanding of who I'm dealing with. I mean, here's my information. I'm the officer on scene.
Well, let me tell you who I'm dealing with.
Okay.
You dealing with somebody that's not going to show you my ID.
Okay, ma'am, you have a good night. Get home safe.
Yeah.
Great role play.
Get home safe.
Right.
Something like that. I'm not even.
So that can happen?
Yeah.
I have no complaining. I'm there to investigate
I'm not
if
even
there's a
talking to you.
situation.
I'm not talking.
So if I'm gonna try, but if you're like, go kick rocks, yes sir, no problem. Have a good night.
Let me tell you, I think that like role plays like that need to happen more often.
You did a really good
'Cause
job too.
I
like,
really.
I know that was
you did
a really good
That's
job.
awesome. You're a natural.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I was
Academy
about
Award.
to. I didn't know whether I should say thank you or not. And then when you said I'm a natural, I was like, no, wait a minute. 'cause I was just
Thea
playing.
Washington.
Yeah,
was
right.
just playing.
Exactly.
She got to be in front
I
of the
was
TV.
just playing. I was just saying.
No, that's awesome.
But I mean, like these role plays, it's like I think a lot of times when they do like role plays and like trainings, it's like very like this is what you can. But like that's something that's real, where like folks need to understand, like, no, this is what you can and cannot do. Like that should be like a know your rights training.
You know, and I tried. You know, when we had an interview with Van Lathan, like I wish I'd have said this, but we had to wrap up. You know, I advise anybody to go to your local law enforcement, go to a Citizens Academy, do their shoot, don't shoot videos. Because that gives you a sense of real life situation. And I guarantee you, if you go through that, you'll have a better perception of what the job really is and what it entails. And go for a ride along so you can see what officers do day in and day out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
A lot of people tend to just judge and not know what the fuck they're talking about.
A ride along will change your life.
Absolutely.
100%. Hands down. A real ride along?
Well, how do you qualify it? What's a real ride along?
All you need, we just talked about it. All you need is an identification.
Boom.
That's it. You go sign paperwork.
Yep.
They give you a bulletproof vest, and you go with that officer for 8 to 10 hours.
Yep.
For his shift, entire shift.
100%.
Okay.
There's certain calls you may not be allowed.
Certain calls they're not going to take you to, like a priority one.
But that was my question. I was like, what's the difference between a real ride along and just
that's a real ride along.
Right.
Like if there's an ongoing shooting, you're not.
Okay. Understandably, yeah.
But like,
I mean,
domestics. Homicide.
Your basic calls for service. You're gonna go to
anything other than that you're not being placed in danger.
Nothing active.
You could see all that, and majority of it you can see it from the car, but it's a lot to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You see a lot.
And things can elevate.
See, that's another reason why this podcast is so different. This is so unique because you got two active detectives letting you know we're on the job. We do this. We've been doing this for going on 11 years now. So it's nothing that we haven't seen. But 11 years on, we still got more time than officer in the county. No disrespect. But we deal with different things to a different degree.
Because we see it so much.
We see it so much. So that's why, we love what we do. That's why we're the #1 law enforcement podcast in the country.
And it's still the best job in the world.
I love it. I'm never leaving Baltimore. You heard?
No,
I love it.
This town, this job.
Amazing.
That is so beautiful to hear.
This town
is like
amazing.
A true Baltimorean.
No. We talk about
it's very rare that you also hear, and I'm just gonna put this out there. It's very rare that you hear, men of color who are also able to connect with community on a community level and still be able to articulate unapologetically their passion and love for the profession of law enforcement, right? Yes. Like usually it's like hidden behind some type of, it's like, I do because this is just a paycheck. You know what I mean? At work, it might be like, no, I do this because we in this together. But like at home, it's like, it's just a paycheck. So it's like very rare that you hear that. And even though it's like this stress and the strain between community and law enforcement, for good reason in many instances, it's still important to know that there are people in the profession that actually see this as more than just a job. Like it's you need that in law enforcement.
Absolutely.
Everybody, it does not matter. And even the folks who are out here that say defund the police reform, all of that, let's be very clear. Everybody at the end of the day, they want to be able to have safe communities.
Yes.
They want safe communities.
Right.
So you
and you want nothing more than to have an officer that's from that community.
Yeah.
We need our
Doesn't
officers.
have to be the same city, but you grow up. The hood is the hood. Yeah. Inner city's the inner city.
And
so don't you want folks that understand that?
Absolutely.
So I think like you're great officers, like our fellow Silverbacks, right? We understand that. We understand that the hood is the hood. We understand that this is the job, but I think we love the people more. I love my job, but I feel like I love the communities, all communities. I don't care if you're Russian or Martian.
Sure.
Like if I'm not in that community and I'm serving that community and we get to know the people in that community, we love the community more than we love the job. Because it's really the people.
Like,
like we're out there, right? Like how many times, grandma came up to us and like, hey, thank you for being out here. To me, that's worth more than my paycheck.
You wanna why? Because 90% of the job is talking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When grandma says, yo, I could go to the store because you guys are out here.
Right. That's a blessing.
And to me, it's like, wow, like we were able to impact her life that much that she's saying that she's so happy just because we're here and we cleared out that corner. Mm-hmm. And the whatever's not out there, she can easily go to the store because usually she can't.
But I also want there to be a point where she can go to the store, not because the police are out there.
Well, that's a different
right.
conversation.
That's. I mean, we should be getting to that so that y'all are focusing.
I guarantee you, every cop wants that. Every cop wants that.
You want to know what the biggest thing? I don't know why people think police work is easy or it shouldn't take. You should just tell them, no. You cannot walk up to a block or to a group of individuals and tell them, listen, I need you to leave. Like, let's be realistic. Like, how far is that gonna go? You gonna get a bunch of mother effers? Get the fuck. Who the fuck you think?
Look at the example I just gave you.
You know what I'm saying?
Of me being just like drunk out with my friends.
Like, yo, this is my block. Who you?
Yeah, right. Who the fuck are you? You
telling me I gotta get out of
what? You just got on?
Fuck out.
And they asked that question because they know that area. They know the officers that are actively engaging in that area. Mm-hmm. So, like, when me and him got on, when me and Dre, when we was on Bel Air and Nerman, they see our face every day. They know how we are. We get out our car. We park our car.
Right.
We go walk a couple blocks. We know our business owners. We know the little young ones that run their mouth. Mm-hmm. But lock up a few.
Yeah. Talk
to them. They know where you from.
Yeah.
They know how you operate. They know you're not a piece of shit officer. They know once you talk to them and they understand why you locked them up for and where you come from. That's when you build that bond. That's when you go to the block and they're like, yo, they call us New York. Yo, I love yo. How you feeling, bro? It's good seeing you.
Yeah.
I ain't been there in 5-6 years. I go back. Yo, big yo, what's up, bro?
And
yo, we miss you, man.
They
grown men now.
Yeah.
Where you been at? They got you downtown now? And it sucks because, like, yo, all the great ones, they're like, yo, damn, we miss y'all, man.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, you know, I remember last summer, there was a new officer in our neighborhood. So I'm in Southwest Baltimore. There was a new officer in the neighborhood. And it was clear that there was excitement on the part of this officer to be in, you know, whether it was, you know, this district or whatever. But he was, you know, he had all the gear on. And he was standing in a way where it was almost like it was given the impression that, you know, I to the community at least, it was like, I want you to challenge me. And
RoboCop.
Yeah. And what was so awesome was that it was like, well, first community members, it was like they were like starting to like, you know, taunt and all of that. And y'all, this was early in the morning. I was walking my dog. It was like 7:00 in the morning. I had my bonnet on. I was like, oh. It's about to be popping.
Here we go, early.
It's about to be popping. Come on, Sasha. But what was so awesome was that all of a sudden you see the officers that we used to seeing that was like, come on, man, no, you can't have all of that out there. You know, I mean, like literally check the guy and to make sure he understood if you're going to be here. Now, I don't know what he said, but he said something to get him to understand, like, if you're going to be here, you got to understand what, like, the community, like, what they're going to respond to and what they're not going to respond to.
Absolutely.
And every day after that, he was just like regular.
Laid back. Cool.
Regular.
That's
regular, and folks could just like communicate with him, and sometimes that's what it takes. No one's saying that, you know, there's an expectation that you got to be down in the gutter doing but like just exactly what you said.
But
just
here's the harsh reality of it, and here's the difficulty part of it, right? That officer, that was his first day there, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, he might be on the other side of town. A completely different neighborhood.
And need to do that?
And need all that.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I can see that.
He has to gauge. You know, he doesn't know. Now, it's going to take some time for him to work all the sides. Like when we used to work Bel Air Road, like the attention that Bel Air Road needed was completely different from Hartford Road.
Right.
The area, the land,
right,
completely different.
But y'all are able to adapt and adopt, right? And not everyone can do
that. Well,
that.
you want to know why?
To.
Because it's easy for us, I guess, because of the individuals we are. Police work, it takes a while for you to hone in on your skill set in becoming an officer.
At least 6 years.
At least. Because you got to learn how to handle the calls for service.
And I would say 6 years, like, in it.
Yeah,
like
every day.
It takes 6 years for you to be involved every day, for you to...
You got to learn how to become an officer. You got to hone in on your skill set. There's a lot of people, even officers, that don't know how to conduct themselves in basic conversation with people.
Right.
A lot of them don't have the temperament for the job.
Right.
And it comes with the territory in any line of work. But being an officer, you start in patrol. That's where you hone in on your skill set on talking to people, dealing with calls for service, learning the layout of the land, the streets, the 100 blocks. Get familiar with that area, that territory. So it takes time. Us, it didn't take long because we was just super busy. We were super happy and excited to do the job. What a lot of officers don't know, or what they forget, we're dealing with communities that have been here since the 60s, the 50s. You gotta remember, during that time, the uniform at that time wasn't a good thing to wear, because even people in the uniform were doing bad things across the Mason-Dixon line, coming to hangings, the lynchings. Officers were doing that, and they let people conduct themselves in that fashion. So a lot of officers forget the people that we protect day in and day out. They come from that era. So you got to understand, a lot of people are not going to like the uniform. Yes, we can't do nothing about that because that's the past, but that's the stain that this uniform carries. And it takes us, phenomenal agents of our department, to eliminate that. This is the new way of law enforcement. This is how we conduct ourselves. And I think that'll plant the seed to make even better officers, to make the public love us, genuinely love what we do when they get an idea of that person, not the badge, that individual, because that goes a long way in changing.
I think there's also something else that would contribute to a lessening of a resentment for law enforcement from the community, and this is something that's not going to be new to both of you all. Having to get involved in family issues that aren't necessarily...
That's always tough.
It's tough, right? Because if I'm someone that sees you as the one that, there was an issue between me and my significant other, and we're going to be together next week.
That officer was the go-to.
I mean, I'm just supposed to call 911, right? So now we both charged with second-degree assault, with assault too, right? Domestically, what is it, the tag that they have, domestically charged incident, right? And so now I'm looking at you like you the reason why you came in here and you ain't even have to do that, but now I'm also supposed to look at you as protect and serve. And so, like, how do you, and I know that DV issues is like a whole beast, trust and believe, I know, but like, how do you navigate that?
We keep it professional. There's no navigating. You did it or you didn't.
Yeah.
Listen, you're the reason why I came here. I got nothing but love and respect for you. But if I get a call for service and I got to come to your household, I'm conducting business. What happened? Body cameras on. What's going on?
Right.
You call me here.
So once I investigate, whatever you tell me, if there's marks on you that I visibly can see and investigate that, that something happened, and the individual's there running his mouth, blasé, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
If it's deemed that somebody has to get locked up, it is what it is.
Well, how do both people get charged then?
Depends
equal
on
marks.
whatever officer.
Something easy like equal marks.
Yeah, equal
like,
marks.
She got marks, he got marks.
Or if she,
clearly.
Or if she admits, I hit him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like,
sometimes, when they explain them, when you separate them, I did it. I appreciate your honesty. Turn around, please.
Right. Because at the end of the day, we got a job to do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's business.
I would say domestics is probably the second most dangerous call to go to besides car stops.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because you're going into the unknown.
Yeah.
And it's the heat
And
of
it's
the
emotional.
emotion.
Yeah.
It's so emotional.
That guy who just found out his girl was texting the next dude.
Right.
He don't care what you gotta say to him. He's trying to deal with why you texting the next dude. What happened?
After football
She
games,
called, you know what I'm saying?
I usually get a big boost during that time.
Not even just football games,
Yeah,
anything, bro.
But like, yeah, like let him even see those are the worst calls when he sees something or when she sees, you know, on the because everything's on the phone now, right? She might get a video, he might get a video, and you know they call.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
And
That's the worst one.
It's scary because I'm seeing younger and younger folks get caught up in these DV issues. Where it's
Absolutely.
like these instances of anger where they're fighting, but they in love and like, I mean, you like 16, 17, 18.
Yeah,
And
right.
we
At
had
that
bail
age-
review.
At that age, you shouldn't be in a relationship.
Like, what is going
At
on?
all.
It's
That's
crazy.
another episode. Okay?
You got
That's
a lot
another
to
one.
work on.
That's another one.
Before you get,
It's another one.
yeah.
Like an officer in Stockton, California passed away last week. He went to a domestic call. So he gets there. I guess dispatcher said the neighbor had called and said that they're hearing female screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Police show up. He gets there. He gets to the front door. Knocks on the door. All he hears, "Hey, officer," followed by gunfire at him.
Gets greeted.
That's how he's greeted.
I mean, was there alcohol involved?
No, we don't know that.
We don't know that.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He knocks on the door, and when the door opens, it's, "Hey, officer." So that throws you off. You're like, okay, that's friendly. And then bang, 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 bang.
Okay, that's friendly, instantaneously followed by gunshots.
It ain't, "What's up, officer?" or like, "Fuck you, officer." No, it's,
Hey, officer. Then stands on top of him.
You're not
execution
reaching for
style.
your gun. You know, you're here to fix a problem. You're here to help.
Then stands on top of him, execution style. And then the officer's partner comes up and immediately
Shoots at the
engages with the individual.
He shot at the officer while he was in the car. And then he goes in the house, grabs his son,
Chokes his son out in front of the officer.
to the point that the kid is
Okay, but clearly there is some level of like mental disability or something happening.
Exactly, but you know
Exactly,
what?
but you
That's
wasn't
us going into the
expecting that.
unknown.
You wasn't expecting that. When that officer, may he rest in peace, and God bless his family and everything
Absolutely.
else. When he left roll call, he did not know.
He's gonna die that day.
Well, why isn't something being able to happen at like the 911 dispatch where like you
It's
are
only
able?
so much a dispatcher is told.
Because-
I get it. You're right. You're
Because
right. You
look,
can't.
right?
It's right.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't get much.
She probably said,
details.
"Hey, I need him to get. I just need him to leave."
Well, it ain't even
It
that.
wasn't
The
even
neighbor
that.
heard it.
The
Yeah.
neighbor had
The
called.
heard it.
Neighbor.
So you
Yeah.
didn't have a
Yep,
complainant.
Yep. Yep.
The complainant stayed in the house and
Yep.
just gave that information to the dispatcher.
Yep.
The officer is supposed to investigate everything.
Yep.
Once he got on scene, it's the unknown.
Yeah.
He don't know what's going on. But that's what officers deal with day in and day out. We go to the unknown and make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
We're basically walking into booby traps every day.
Absolutely.
I just
100%.
want to say that there's no way that you can make chicken salad
Out of
from
chicken shit. How about that?
They tried them.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna.
They want us to.
Like just the visual alone.
Chicken salad.
You threw her off.
I fucked
Because
up.
I was over here like I was with it. I was like,
Yeah, no doubt.
She's
No, but-
never gonna have a chicken
but-
salad.
Then I was
ever.
like, never. And I'm a chicken salad connoisseur, so I'm like, yo, you can't.
But real talk, Karen, coming from the other side of that, I used to be a court commissioner for 5 years. So after they did the arresting of individuals, the people that we had the most problems with weren't the murderers, weren't the drug dealers, it was the individuals that came in with domestic violence. And most of the time, most of these people, 9.5 times out of 10, this wasn't their first time. This wasn't their second time. This wasn't their third time. This was their 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th, or 12th time, beating on the same individual every time.
Okay, so I
And they
struggle
would come
with
in,
this.
and then they would come in, and then take that anger from them, and then that girl, and then try to bring it upon the person that is about to give them a bail. I'm not sending you back home.
I know, okay, but I struggle with this. This is what I struggle with. And I don't,
Right.
just, this is what I struggle with.
Let me hear it.
If you came in there 10 times, you
All
ain't
right.
gonna-
Let me hear it. Go
I'm
ahead.
going to give you all an example where I was literally in the bail review and I was like, ugh. So we had an individual who we were helping out, in the workforce space, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets locked up for assault 1 and 2. Okay. Now, girlfriend has some visible marks, right? He also has a conviction from 2017. This was like 3 months ago. He also has a conviction from 2017, same charges. Okay? So usually I am one that will go before the judge and be like, Your Honor, like, just because this happened a couple years ago, like, you know, things have changed. Come on, like, just release them to me. Like, everything will be. And usually we're good about keeping them on track and everything. But there are some cases where it's like, oh. So in this one instance, it was clear that, like, he wasn't backing down. Like, she was at the hearing. She was like, this is what I look like. And to your point, like, he was upset about some text messages. Now, this is where I become torn as the CEO of the Job Opportunities Task Force that runs the Community Bail Fund for Baltimore City, right? But is also someone who was born and raised in Baltimore City, still live in Baltimore City, and still understand what what it's like to live, around the corner from Baltimore and Cary. Okay? So jail is central bookings. There's nothing rehabilitative about that in any sense of the term. However, while that may not be the best place for you, just roaming out freely may also not be the best situation for you, because there's clearly something that you need to be connected with. It probably stronger than anger management classes, something. And so you have a system where it's like, how do we reduce our pretrial population, right? But at the same time, you just had a recent conviction. Yeah. Same thing. Still doing this. She got visible marks. This is where we get torn, right? Because our job is, how can we get you out and help you move away from this? But also at the same time, are you ready for our help?
Right.
You ready for this?
If you're gonna go out and bust ahead to the white meat again, as soon as you get out.
You still love her.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta let that go.
Love her.
Right.
Like,
he gonna see him when he get out.
And he gonna see him when he get out.
You know that. Absolutely. And she gonna be there with open arms. Hungry eyes.
There was one time we were in court and it was like, okay, like, I'm here to defend you. Okay, we here in the court. We were here in the court. He was, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm like, all right. All of a sudden, they were like, y'all gotta go. You gotta get your... What?
What you mean?
He was supposed to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Apparently, he gonna go to her like, so is this really what you doing?
Right.
At the courthouse.
Yeah, no doubt.
At the courthouse.
Yeah, he didn't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo.
Right.
Come on back down here, Ike. I got something for you.
I got you. Right.
Hey,
Come get this 50 grand.
that's called love.
Courthouse.
Come get it.
It's called love.
Is she gonna be there?
Mm-hmm.
She gonna be there.
Yeah. She bailed him out.
Yeah, she will. They be right at the bell window. They be right there.
Yeah, she will.
Putting their house up.
So tell me, have you had any good police interactions or encounters?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. She got one too. Go ahead. Break it out.
What is your life like when it comes to police?
I mean, besides meeting us.
Right.
Or me.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
I
forgot about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Caramelo y chocolate.
Wow. Que lo que.
So I actually have two specific. I mean, all right. So
specific, not Pacific.
Right.
Go Baltimore. Go Baltimore. I saw it. Yeah, I was waiting for it. Listen. She shook me up when she said Cary. I'm like, oh yeah, that's great diction, because you ain't go Curry on. I was about to say North and Curry. You talking about North and Curry? NORF.
Baltimore and Cary.
There you go.
Nice.
Get him. We know how to.
You having a good time.
We know.
I appreciate
That's that city forever.
Don't
That's that city education.
Yeah.
City teaching.
So, interestingly enough, like, professionally, I work around law enforcement a lot, whether it's, doing policy work in Annapolis, where I'm working with the lobbyists for, whether it's, FOP, state police, BPD, on the local level, just trying to figure out how can, we make things happen. But on a personal level, there are two specific instances. So my freshman year of college, I was actually locked up.
Where'd you go to school?
Washington College on the Eastern Shore, Chestertown.
Nice.
And, a couple friends of ours, first weekend after first semester, we back in Baltimore.
Showing off, huh?
Right. We all home from college.
Yeah, got that good young energy.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And when we was at college, we learned about this thing called weed.
Okay.
So we all came back, right?
The devil's lettuce.
All came back, right? Devil's lettuce.
Right.
Never.
All came back.
Fried.
And we were like, let's smoke weed at Robert E. Lee Park. Okay? Now, y'all, it says no trespassing. We were like, that's where we're going to go.
Nice.
Right there.
That's what we're going to do.
And that's where we got locked up. Right there.
In the city?
Smoking it by Miley.
I mean, no, it's right on the city-county line, I think. Isn't
The county locked you up?
Yeah, I was at Towson.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, county, they're not
They
playing.
were real nice, though. This is the thing. They were real
Appreciate
nice.
you, but you're coming.
Right, the whole
Turn
time
the
they were
fucking
like,
around. Thank you.
why are y'all here?
But it was a
we
minute ago.
we were
though.
still under the influence a little bit, so like we were just it was kind of just it was a thing, okay? But it wasn't a bad experience, but spent the night in Towson.
It was like, damn,
Had
you
to go
really
to
had
court.
to lock me up, though?
Had a record. Like, I mean, but I wasn't thinking about it back then because I still lived a life of relative privilege, right? Like, I wasn't, no opportunities were jeopardized as a result of that.
Right.
It wasn't until I started doing this work where I was like, wait, I could have not gotten a job because of my record?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So that was like my first real initial interaction with law enforcement, right? Still did not give me a horrible impression of law enforcement. My most recent was actually today.
Oh, wow.
All right, so check this out.
Okay. I hope it's good.
It was good.
Well,
I mean, not for her, but
Right.
I know, right?
Let me hear it.
So, now I don't know exactly where it happened, but at some point today, my tags got stolen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So apparently this is like a thing lately. It's been an uptick.
It's always been going.
Really?
Yeah.
Like folks are stealing the tags and then they selling them and like
tick.
it's like a thing, right?
They don't sell them.
They don't sell them?
No.
What they doing with them?
They put them on stolen vehicles
Yeah.
so that they don't get pulled over.
Exactly.
But it's gonna happen.
So when you pull them over or when you run the tag, they don't realize, oh, that tag does not match
On that vehicle.
that vehicle.
This whole time I thought it was just some
Or they're going to go, as they say, hit a lick
Right.
with your tags. So when you're
What they gonna do?
leaving,
what they gonna do?
hit a lick.
That's what they say in the hip hop songs.
I was going to say.
Listeners, that's what they say on the hip
That's where I got it
hip
from.
hop on the hip hop
They're gonna
songs.
hit a lick.
They gonna
So
get lit.
when they're going to hit a lick, right?
Uh-huh.
And the cameras catch your car or that car fleeing the scene and they catch the tag. Some detective was like, oh my God, we got a tag.
Yo, I
And
thought
the tag comes back to you.
Comes back to you.
I thought it was like
And then we show up and we're like, ma'am, where were you on such and such date?
Right.
Oh, I was at work. And then you're like, she doesn't look like she robs people.
I mean, but
I don't think she robs anybody.
Right.
you'd be surprised.
And then you'd be like, oh.
I'm just saying,
Wait
I
a
bailed out to
minute.
people. I'm like, you steal cars?
Hey, yo, I'm your Huckleberry.
I be like, but you're 63. You're still stealing cars?
Yeah.
I mean, but with the stealing of the tags, I thought that this was literally like, oh, it's so expensive to get tags and registration and all that, so I'm going to steal people's tags and I'm going to sell it to you.
No.
I thought it was just,
You've been watching
small
too much
business.
Chicago
No
PD,
one's
didn't
gonna
you?
buy. No one's gonna buy a fake tag.
Hell no.
That's a headache. No. It's I'm gonna do a lick.
I need
You
somebody.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
feel
then
real good
I'm gonna need
about
that tag. So when they come looking for me, it ain't me.
Because they ain't gonna be driving that car long. That's just
All right,
to
well,
get
listen.
away.
So,
So these tags got stolen.
I was at a home inspection this
And
morning.
plates.
Okay.
Okay. Get back to my house, and I'm like, yo, where are my tags?
Damn.
So I'm like, what in the world? So I call MVA, and they're like, okay, ma'am, what you're going to have to do is you have to call the police, get an incident report number, and then you can come into the MVA and get your free substitute tags, right?
There you go.
But then the earliest appointment wasn't until like July 20th, unless I was going to drive up to Centerville. I'm not driving up to Centerville. I got things to do. It's holiday weekend. Are you kidding me?
To where?
Centerville.
I don't even know what that is.
Right? It's on the Eastern Shore. It's almost to Chestertown.
Oh my God.
Definitely not
That's
going
what I'm
that far.
saying,
To get some
right?
plates?
Not for no plates.
It's like
Why you
2
gotta-
hours.
why you
Not
gotta-
for no plates.
Right.
Wasn't happening. Okay.
Why you gotta go with Cinema?
So I was like, that was the only place for the appointment. Like the earliest appointment in like Baltimore was like July 20th because at the
so good.
MVA it's all appointments, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, just get the incident report number from the cops
That's all
and
you
then go to tag and title.
Right.
So I was like, all right. So now I want to be clear.
Yeah.
I don't think I have ever dialed the numbers 911 purposely, like intentionally. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Ooh." I mean, I've done it all the time, like by mistake.
Right.
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 You have to be
When
like,
you're young and shit to hang out.
I did it
Prank
last
call.
week by
Prank
mistake.
call.
When you did prank calling and shit.
Right. Home Alone shit.
I did it last week by mistake. I mean,
Okay.
sometimes
Showing
you
off.
know,
Go
you
down.
just
All right.
happen, right?
Okay.
But I
What was
pressed
you doing?
the numbers.
Yeah, like you watch
just-
yourself.
Boop boop. We gonna go back to my story, not to what happened last week. Not what happened last week. So I dialed 911, right?
Okay.
So the officers come, and I was, my dog was going crazy, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was actually like nervous.
Yeah. Tell Sasha
I was
relax.
nervous, right? Because they come into your house, and then, my neighbors, right? And you gotta understand, when y'all come to people's houses, and neighbors be like,
"What's up?"
They be signifying all out the door.
What she did?
oh,
What she
you
did?
with
Right.
them?
Yeah.
Oh, you with them?
It's
That's
a
crazy.
it's a
So I'm like,
presence.
y'all know they on my dang. I had to go and got.
Right.
So 2 officers get there, right?
Okay.
And so, they're like, okay, what's going on? So I'm telling them, everything that's happening, and, we going through the timeline. Now, I'm going to pause right there because there's a piece that is important for context. What I did not tell you is another piece of JOTF is public policy advocacy.
Okay.
We spent a lot of time in Annapolis and City Hall trying to pass laws
Okay.
to help this population, okay? Go back to my story. So the officer is telling me that apparently, he's like, Baltimore has one of the highest numbers of folks who driving without insurance, driving without registration, all of that.
Yeah.
And he's telling me how many times officers end up having to deal with these types of calls, right? Whether it's like stolen, accidents, like all of these things. So I start telling him about the work that my organization does. And he's like, this is actually something we should be supporting. And so it went from my fear of calling law enforcement to actually having a potential partner
Nice.
in legislative efforts to help both on the public safety side, but also on the community workforce side.
Awesome.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's an amazing thing.
That is a beautiful thing. For them to be able to say, like, yeah, what you're doing to ensure that folks can afford to pay for, like, tags, registration, and especially auto insurance.
No, it's huge.
Because, like, the officer was like, look, if you don't have auto insurance at the minimum, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then I got to lock you up. You
Yeah.
got to have auto insurance.
Yeah.
Yep.
The car be a city yard.
And those are fees
Right.
protruding.
Yep.
That was a phenomenal conversation.
It was.
That's dope.
They're
Safe
bridging
to
the
say,
gap over there.
safe to say you had a very good interaction with law enforcement.
I did.
That's a
I
good
did.
time.
I did. Y'all ain't bad.
No, we're great. Don't get it twisted. We're great.
Okay.
I
Claim that.
appreciate you.
Claim
Yeah.
that.
Own that shit. Right.
Claim it. Okay.
Okay. Pearly whites. I like it.
Okay.
Chocolate.
I
Right.
went to the dentist on Tuesday.
Okay.
Shout out to Dr. Tamika Jackson.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
was there on Tuesday.
It's good to have insurance, ain't it?
Care first.
A lot of people can't have that.
Tell
I mean, I was just there.
Right.
I was just there.
Right. I'm saying a lot of people don't have that. A lot of holes in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Chips.
Don't look right. That's important.
Right. Having good breath is everything.
Floss.
Right. And brush
The floss.
3 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3
Gargle.
times is good. Right.
Do you tell the people that come over to your program to floss? Is that part
That's
of
a
the
great
thing?
question, though.
Is that part of the thing?
No.
No.
Like, hey, resume, floss.
No.
You probably one of the people that COVID mask.
No, I mean,
started.
I have had to tell folks, like, there was one gentleman where,
That's important when you show up to an interview.
I mean, but it's also important for you not to show up high, right? So,
I don't have that problem. I haven't never been high.
yeah, so
have
we
you ever
get
spoken
that
to somebody with bad breath?
all the time.
What do you do?
She's all the time.
You tell them.
I think you should tell them.
Do you
And
do you give them-
and stinky underarms, right? Because
Ah!
Whoa. Mm-hmm. They
Really?
Still do, wait a minute. They still do that?
right. Yeah.
That happens now
Yeah.
in 2021.
Like there was one instance I walked into an office and it just like,
Smell like red onions
and I was like, okay,
and
like
hot dog water.
let's not do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's not wearing deodorant?
Right. There we go.
Like, let's
Let's
take care of
just
this.
let's just talk
Let's
about it.
nip it in the bud right now.
Let's just talk about it.
Because this office is on fire right now.
It's not okay.
It's really not.
It's not okay.
I'll be right back.
Do they give you like little deodorant packs and stuff from like some of the hygiene?
That's
spots?
crazy.
Look, I mean, there are times when I show up to the office and I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot deodorant. Where's the bail fund pack?
Let's go. Make them go. Yeah.
No,
So they do have it,
keep
yeah.
it real.
absolutely. No, you're
Yeah.
supposed to.
Yeah.
No, I used to, yeah.
Word.
So why
Oh, so they do have it there.
I'm
Where
not gonna
like if
keep
somebody
going.
comes in, like, look, this is for you. Go
Right.
ahead and go ahead. That's dope. Okay.
Or for me when I don't do it.
Yeah, but this
Shit
is not
happens.
consistent.
It happens.
It happens.
Like, if you lifted up and you had an afro down there, I'd be like, yo,
What
on
happened?
your underarms, what's going on, baby?
We're not in France.
Let me ask you a question.
What if I did have an afro under there though?
There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm
We're not in
just curious.
France. We're not in France.
Parlez-vous français?
Well, apparently it's not even in France because I've been seeing some folks on North Avenue where it's like, I'm embracing myself.
Nah, that's not cool. I mean,
Baltimore.
you can embrace yourself if the scent is fresh.
Right, but that's when folks want to, use a lot of
Nah,
natural
if you
stuff.
know what I'm saying? If it smells like berries and all that, yeah, I love it.
Listen, I'm
He
all
said
for
berries.
it. Word.
I'm with it. And embrace yourself.
Absolutely.
That's none of my business.
Not at all.
But when you affecting like enclosed areas, come on.
What did you all do like during COVID when like you had folks who, wanted to like sneeze or cough on you, knowing that it was like, how did you like
Well, first and
navigate
foremost,
that?
I kept my distance at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could you if there was like someone who like if you were in the process of actually like putting someone in cuffs, how much of a distance can you keep? And what if they just like
No,
you know how
gotta-
you would see like these crazy people in the grocery stores are like, I'm gonna cough on you because
That is
Nah,
so
you got
disrespectful.
gloves on. Everybody have masks on.
Yeah, a lot of PPE gear.
Alright.
I ducked COVID. Oh yeah, not once
Okay.
throughout all that.
Did you get your shot?
You get vaxxed?
What do you think I got?
Hey, are you vaxxed?
Not Johnson & Johnson.
Hell no, I got Moderna.
What'd you get?
I'm vaxxed.
Okay. He got Johnson & Johnson.
Nah, I didn't get that. I got the 2 joints.
Okay. Did you get Johnson & Johnson?
Pfizer.
Okay.
Pfizer. Pfizer.
Pfizer.
It's
Pfizer. With a P.
I got a little son of that.
You know what I'm saying?
It added to the juice.
Right.
What we doing?
So are you
I'm here.
Are you a Baltimore Raven fan?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the Ravens. The Ravens is actually a big fan of the Job Opportunities Task Force.
That's
2 years
dope.
ago, they gave us $100,000.
Really?
That's amazing. See, look at that.
awesome.
Big fan of the Ravens. Thank you,
what's
Dick
up.
Cass.
Oh wow.
All of y'all.
Who?
Dick Cass,
Ooh.
Okay.
president of the Ravens.
Oh yeah, that guy. Sir.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Sir
So Dick Cass, if you're listening,
Damn.
Silverback.
All day.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, good sir. All right, so what's next for you? What's next for you?
And yeah, like where does a CEO go from?
Right. What's going
Where
on with
does-
JO Task Force?
Where
Yep.
does a CEO
Yep.
go from being a Mongol?
Talk to me.
You become a Mongol? Is that
Yeah.
terminology?
You know,
Mongol.
Mogul.
Mogul.
He said
You know, because I was like, Mongo, that's like Jungle Book. What was the thing's
the
name
fucking
in
Dominican
Jungle
came out.
Book? He was like, what are you gonna be, a Mongol?
Mongol?
Hey, yo,
You're gonna be a
No, thank you,
Mongol?
bro.
I swear to God.
A Mongol?
Right, was that a personal shot? So disturbing.
And with the
bro.
lean in, what are you
You're
gonna be, a Mongol?
Well
I
done,
was like,
Trey.
well, I don't know.
Well done.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful. Like a mile, bro.
You're such an ass.
Chris cut my off.
Get the hell out, bro.
You're gonna be a Mongol?
Right? Damn.
I was like, well, I don't know.
Right.
He was like, right, I'm gonna be that.
Right.
I guess I will.
Yeah, thanks for offending me.
All right.
Just beautiful compliments.
That's
at the
what we're
end.
doing. We went from chocolate to
Mongol.
Mongol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
So good.
What was the question?
Right. Can we get back to that?
You know what? I'm gonna shut up.
Go stand outside, man.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
You're blowing it.
I always say that. I'm sorry. I've been doing that since I was little. I just can't.
But asking people if they're going to be a Mongol? Is that what you've been doing since you were 7?
That's real nice stuff, bro. I thought I knew you.
Many nights with this guy, I tell you.
Yes.
So what's next for JOTF?
So you know what I mean.
So staying a human.
Absolutely.
Right.
Actually, January was my 10th year anniversary with JOTF.
Nice. Congrats.
10 years,
Good for you.
right?
Wow.
Decade. So, in September, I'm actually taking a month-long sabbatical.
Okay.
A what?
Sabbatical.
What's
so
that?
JOTF allows you to take pretty much a month off.
Sabbatical?
Sabbatical is like time. It's like leave.
Nice.
It's like a...
Just a professional way to say you taking off.
Yeah, but
I'm going to be off for 30 days.
Yeah, but like
paid.
Appreciate that.
They pay it, and it doesn't count against her leave.
Correct.
So she banks everything.
Correct.
But she's still getting paid.
Correct.
Nice.
And I don't have to do anything
Yo,
JOTF related.
BPD, I need a sabbatical.
I'm actually asked not to
right.
do anything JOTF related.
Listen,
I only heard teachers taking sabbatical.
sabbatical. Wow.
Yep. So I'm going to use that time to figure out what my next steps are. It definitely won't be elected office.
Are you gonna travel?
Yeah.
You gonna take the month off?
Anywhere you
The
going?
whole month. September 1st to September 30th.
Are you like, where are you going?
So far, I'm going to spend a week in Portugal.
Tell me. Ooh.
Never been to Portugal. Well, my background's international studies. So, I studied abroad in Australia, spent some time in Italy, Switzerland, all of that. Yeah. So,
Tell us more.
yeah. So, I want to get back to
chocolate.
traveling. Here we go. Now we got to
Portugal.
move back to that one. Okay.
What languages do you speak?
Okay. English. That's why I studied abroad in Australia, straight up.
good
I was
enough.
like, where can I study abroad and I won't fail my classes? Where do they speak English? Australia,
London,
great,
yeah.
wonderful.
You ain't like, have you been to London?
Nope.
For some reason, that city calls me, man.
London?
Yeah.
I want to go to the Key Bridge.
The
where?
Francis Scott Key
Down the
Bridge?
block? You talking
No,
about?
I think they call it the Love Bridge, where they got all the locks.
Oh, in France.
France. Okay.
I mean, you said the Key Bridge. You know we right around the corner. You was like around the corner.
I could take you right now.
We can go right now. We were like, you know what? Shut it down. We're gonna go to the Key Bridge.
Yeah, that's like
Go to the Key
the
Bridge.
Love Bridge, where they got all the
It was like the Key Bridge, Love Bridge,
Right.
the one with they.
Shit like that. Right.
They got that.
It's over there.
They got,
It's over there. Right.
they got that over there. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of travel.
So Portugal, anywhere else?
I haven't decided yet. So I like spontaneity. I might just, Southwest, they have them $49 flights where you'd be like, what, I'm going today. Come on, y'all, let's go.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen in September.
Morocco's
go to
right
Africa.
there. Morocco's right there. You might as well stop at
Might as well.
Yeah,
A little Casablanca action.
I've never been to Africa yet, and I think that if I was gonna go to Africa, I would want to use the whole month of September.
That's what I'm talking. Go to Zimbabwe.
I would want to do a couple countries. I want to hit up East, Western, Central, Southern,
Right.
Northern.
Go to Nigeria.
It's a lot to Africa.
That's what I'm planning on going.
It's a lot. I want to go to
Go to
Djibouti.
Laos.
Go to Lagos.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Gotta
to
go to
Wizkid.
Gabon.
Word.
Gotta go to Door of No Return. Slaves left Africa to go to America.
I'm trying to get some diamonds,
All of that,
Word.
right?
I like that.
some gold.
Want to be able to go to the areas in Latin America where they also sent slaves to America.
Absolutely.
Our Afro Latinas.
Right.
There you go.
Super
Yeah.
dope.
We got a lot of slaves in the Caribbean culture.
Sure do.
Yes, we do.
Sure do.
Brazil,
A lot of history.
Brazil caught the most
Sure
of them,
do.
but Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, they all
Yep.
caught that.
Yep. Yep.
Nah, that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Afro Latino.
Absolutely. It's real.
So, Miss Caryn, you're awesome. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you coming out tonight.
You all made it easy.
Very
Means-
eclectic.
What?
Look at him.
Or something
You
like
see that, right?
I know words. I went to school.
Tell them, Dre.
I went to school.
With chocolate and Spanish,
I don't
Brody.
use it. I don't use it as much as I should, but I went to school.
Okay.
Brody, with chocolate and
I'm a
Spanish.
knuckle drag out the other
Okay.
day. What were you saying, Chris? I'm sorry.
With chocolate and Spanish, Brody.
Chocolate.
He said, I'm a knuckle dragger at the end of the day, bathing 8 ball day.
Oh, day.
That's what I am.
I'm a caveman.
And what's it called? The sabbatica?
Sabbatical.
Sabbatical.
Look.
She gave you the pot prayer hands, bro.
It's okay.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
We all need sabbaticals, bro.
We all do.
We going back to we going back to work. We going back to work on Tuesday
was like, what is it called?
sabbaticals.
I'm like, listen.
Sabbatical.
Do you think you might want to implement a sabbatical? We need that twice a
Right.
year. Right? At least 3 times.
Right.
Karen said,
Caryn
Right.
said,
That's right.
Aaron,
JLTF. Sabbatical.
Sabbatical.
that's what they do.
All day.
Get the hell out of my.
So, would you like to give any shout outs before we wrap this thing up, Miss Caryn?
Yes, I would.
Please do.
I would like to give a shout out to my mom, of course.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, moms.
Hey, Mom.
hola, mami.
Hola, mami. ¿Qué lo que?
I want to give a shout out to the amazing staff of the Job Opportunities Task Force. I can't do this alone. This is not a one-person team at all. I may be the CEO. I'm only able to be an amazing CEO because I have an amazing team.
That's right.
Who I can support and who does amazing things and allows me to do all the things. I want to give a shout out to brothers and sisters in blue,
We appreciate you.
right?
you.
Who protect and serve, try to. Those who are engaging and supportive and communicative and all the things. We appreciate you. I want to give a particular shout out to Officer Kellogg, who responded to my call today to
Nice.
help me with my stolen tags.
Kellogg.
That was his name.
Was he tall?
I mean,
He was a Caucasian male?
yeah, how you know when he had this little...
He was my
You
trainee.
know him?
I trained him. He's in the
Yo!
academy. Yeah.
He was really nice.
I train warriors, you heard?
He was really, really nice. Like, really, like...
Nah, just a nice guy.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
yeah. So
One
shout
degree
out...
Shout out to
Separation.
Kellogg. I appreciate you, brother.
Shout out to Kellogg. Shout out
Awesome.
to Kellogg. And of course, I got to give a shout out to my brothers and sisters behind the fence.
All day.
That's there for whatever reason.
Right.
But, you know, hoping that using this time to get your mind right in whatever capacity you can, so that when you come home, we can receive you
Absolutely.
and do what needs to be done so that you don't have to return to the system
Right.
in any way, shape, or form.
I give a shout out to them too. Listen, hold your head, bros. Stay safe. And my ladies that's locked up too. Utilize that time to better yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, perfect the craft. Read. Educate
Absolutely.
yourself. And, utilize that time to speak
Utilize
to
that
any
time.
while he's on his phone. While you can speak to anybody to make you better. Because when you get out, we'll be here waiting for you. In a positive way. So you can be the great kings and queens for your family. And for yourself ultimately. Dre, what you got?
Peace and love.
Triple C.
Be the change in the world you want to make.
Caryn.
Peace and love.
Peace
Caryn,
and
what you got?
blessings.
Awesome. All right, my folks. It's episode 84. We appreciate you. I want to thank Caryn so much for you see what the content we bring to the table.
84, that's the year I was born, 1984.
Holla back.
Buck.
You see how it all makes sense?
Buck.
Hey
See how it
yo,
makes sense. I love it.
everybody, be safe. We love you. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Peace out.
The views and opinions expressed on the Silverback podcast are those of the hosts, producers, and/or the persons appearing on the program, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the federal, state, or local government. This includes, but not exclusive to, the Department of Defense and/or the Baltimore City Police Department.